Hello, YouTube. Um, I am making this video to say that I finally settled on which story I'm gonna do. As you can probably tell from the screen, I'm gonna do the Star Wars and Avatar story. So, I've got the first episode more or less done. I just have to do recording and editing and whatnot. But I just wanted to use this video as an opportunity to explain what I want to do with the series. So, of course, with it being a cross-franchise story, I want it to be both a good Star Wars story and a good Avatar story. So I've broken down the elements of what makes a good Star Wars story and what makes a good Avatar story. The Star Wars story was real easy because there was a video I saw a while back that covered the making of the first Force Unleashed game, and the creators of the game basically said they approached George Lucas asking him, okay, how do we make a Star Wars story? And he broke down the elements of a Star Wars story. And so I used that. So of course you have the Force, you have the wise master, you have the love interest, you have, of course, action, adventure, drama, humor, and what I've dubbed the BBFV, the big bad Force villain. And then for Avatar, I could never find an outline for what makes a good Avatar story. So I just went with what elements can I recognize that are consistent between the two series, Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. So, of course, the protagonist is the Avatar. The journey is the Avatar learning to be this bridge between worlds. Aang has to learn to be the bridge between nations in a world where his people have been annihilated, and Korra has to learn to be a bridge between the physical and the spiritual world as the spirits and physical world intermingle. So then you have the team, and Team Avatar, the elements of Team Avatar are always, it has all four elements, and then it also incorporates some non-bending. In the first series, you have Katara, Toph, and Zuko as water, earth, and fire, and then you have Aang as air, but he's also the Avatar, and then you have Sokka and Suki as the non-benders. In Legend of Korra, you have water with Korra, and you also have air with Korra. Tenzin and his kids don't really travel with Team Avatar all that much. And then you have Bolin as earth, Mako as fire, and then Asami as the non-bender. And then within Avatar, you also have the wise sage, either Iroh or Tenzin. Then, of course, you have the spirits. Those are both very prevalent in both The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. Of course, there has to be humor, and in the series, the story itself has to appeal to children while accommodating an adult audience. So it's primarily a kids show, but and this is something that the creators of the show did say. They wanted to make a story that respected its audience. It didn't pander to a younger audience. It recognized the youthfulness of the audience, but did not want to pander to them. So it wanted some more mature topics, which is why as children we enjoyed this show, and then now that it's back on Netflix, as adults we still love the show because it's not frivolous. So it's certainly a kids show. It's kid friendly, but it's not frivolous. Elsewhere in the story there must be adventure, both in The Last Airbender and in Korra. They go all over the world. Then, of course, there has to be action, drama, I put humor twice in there. Huh. Um. Oh yeah, I know why I did that, and I forgot to change that because the first humor was a bit of the team, but the team also has the comic relief: Bolin for Korra, and Sokka for Last Airbender. Now with this series, I had some big questions, of course, including Star Wars. There's the big question of, do they go to space or not? And that's something that I'll explore as I write the series. I'm not gonna, and I sort of have an answer for that, but I'm not gonna answer it right now for the sake of giving you guys something to look forward to. Second off, there's of course gonna be the big bad Force villain. Oh yeah, also with Avatar, there's the BBBV, the big bad bending villain. But the question is the Force villain going to be Sith or not? Is he going to be a Darth, or is he going to have some other title, like what happened with the Knights of Ren? They're Darksiders, but they're not Sith. And then furthermore, are they going to align with the dark side, or are they gonna be sort of gray, sort of like the Eternal Empire in the Star Wars: The Old Republic game, where we don't really care what side we're on, just so long as we can control the galaxy. My third question was, what Avatar tech level? Now, of course, Avatar: The Last Airbender is very much a classic fantasy. It's got swords, bows, not necessarily magic, but the bending and whatnot. And then you get to Korra, and it's a lot more steampunk. So my series, my story will take place several centuries after Korra. So what tech level will they be at? They will certainly be more advanced than Korra, but will they be like modern day, or will they be much more advanced than that? I mean, they went from basically medieval technology to 1920s in the span of 80 years. So how fast is their technology going to go in the centuries between Korra and my story? And then my final question was, how deep do I take the violence? Because obviously these two stories are not compatible. If you try to make a Star Wars story with Avatar violence, you're gonna it's gonna come off as even more placated than not placated pallided. It's going to come off as even more pallided than Star Wars Rebels, where you hardly see anyone die. Everything is inferred. And while there are a lot of implied deaths in Avatar, they even poke fun at the fact that they imply the deaths with like Jet in the Ember Island Players episode. You know, it was very much unclear whether or not Jet actually died. They poke fun at it. So how deep do I want to take the violence? Because obviously this is going to be Avatar as well, so obviously kids are going to see it. Like, if this reaches recommended, people are going to see Avatar and they're going to think, oh, my kid can see this. So how deep do I want to take the violence? And I've actually written a scene where I've actually written two alternatives where, on one hand, there's a very gritty death of a character where the Avatar, like, it's very blatant that the Avatar just flat out kills this person. And then there's another version where it's a very implied death. Like, there's absolutely no way that this person could survive the situation, but you don't actually see the death. So those are my big questions with the series. Now, I just want to take some time now to explain how how I plan on melding these two. So, obviously, I say Star Wars and Avatar, as opposed to my Earth and Star Wars series, where I'm taking Earth and melding it into Star Wars. I'm taking Star Wars and melding it into Avatar. So, so it'll still be Star Wars. There'll still be the lightsabers, the blasters, the Force. Like, everything will be referred to as they are referred to in Star Wars. My big question, though, is how much Star Wars do I refer to? Like, how aware of the galaxy are these Star Wars characters? Or because the story takes place several centuries after the Star Wars characters have entered the Avatar world, have these characters just completely accepted that they live on this world now, and their considerations of the rest of the galaxy are sort of on the back burner, so to speak. So that's one of the considerations of the series is this is Avatar melding. This is Star Wars melding into Avatar. If you haven't noticed, I'm not using a script. But this is Star Wars. Sorry, this is Star Wars melding into Avatar. And so, my idea for the series is going to be, this is primarily an Avatar story, but there are Star Wars elements in it, rather than Earth and Star Wars, where it's a Star Wars story, but Earth's in it. This is an Avatar story, but Star Wars is in it. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to communicate with this video, and I hope I did an effective job. I hope you guys are hyped for the episode. I'm still incredibly busy between the two jobs I have. I'm working 7 days a week, so I will get the video out as soon as possible, but I don't know when that will be. It will certainly be sometime this month. So, for lack of a good outro, have a good day.